how to become mediocre in 2024. Or better yet, let's get started. The actual topic is how to be mediocre in 2024. So I thought I would share 10 things business owners will do to be mediocre this year, this new year. So I want to ask you a question. Did you reach your 2023 goals? If not, why? Ask yourself that question. Why? In fact, take a few minutes before the clock chimes midnight tonight. Take a few minutes and write down why you think you did not reach your goals. Just start making a list. What's what I call a brain dump. Don't overthink it. Just start writing down all the reasons you did not reach your 2023 goals. So let's talk about how to become, or let's talk about how to be mediocre in 2024. And of course, this is tongue in cheek, but let's go ahead and get started. How to be mediocre in 2024. Number one, make excuses instead of changes. This is how you can be mediocre in 2024. Make excuses instead of changes. In other words, blame everybody else, blame others for your lack of achievement. Believe that it's not your fault. Believe that it's out of your control, that it's everybody else's fault. Make excuses instead of changes. Blame it on the government. Blame it on those lazy employees. Blame it on all that cheap competition out there. Now, of course, the right action is take responsibility for whatever's going on in your business. That's the right action, right? If you don't want to be mediocre, the opposite, the antidote is take responsibility and change. So you won't change if you're blaming everything on others. If you're making excuses, you can't change. But if you take responsibility, you can own it and you can change. All right, number two, how to be mediocre in 2024. Multiply your business before you maximize it. In other words, keep adding layer upon layer upon layer of complexity without ever having a strategy. I see this all the time. People, they haven't fixed their employee problems. They haven't fixed the fact that they can't get their employees to work a full schedule. They can't get them to show up to work consistently. And what do? Instead of fixing that problem, they just hire more employees. And so everybody has a little bit of work. No one is fully maximized. So the right action is to optimize before you multiply, or maximize before you multiply. If you have a whole bunch of part-time cleaners, you should literally fill up their schedules till they're all full-time before you hire another person. So the right action is to maximize before you multiply. Number three, if you want to be mediocre in 2024, ask for advice you're not going to follow. How many of us have done that, right? Ask for advice you're not going to follow. Well, what's the kind of advice that people don't follow? You know what it is. It's free advice that's completely useless. It's advice that you ask of people who don't know what they're doing anyway, and you know it. They're not experts. They're making the same mistakes you make. That's why you're not going to follow their advice. So the right action is to invest in experts and study and learn, and then follow that advice. Read good books of some of the best experts in the world. If you're struggling with marketing, read good books on marketing. If you're struggling with leadership, read good books on leadership. If your business model does not work, you're not profitable, you've created a job nobody likes, then hire an expert to show you the right way, instead of doing another year of asking for advice that you're not going to follow anyway. Number four, to how to be mediocre in 2024. Obsess over your cheap competitors, right? You want to be mediocre? Focus on the pricing of your cheapest competitors. Focus on the fact that, well, all these other cleaning companies charge less than me, and that's why I can't charge more, right? And so keep your prices low because you think that that's what clients are more interested in, is pricing instead of quality and value. Of course, we know that's not true, right? The right action is focus on value and differentiation, not just the price that the cheapest guy in town is charging. What do we care about them? What do we care? I don't care what my cheap competitors charge. I only care about how I'm differentiating my service from them and how I'm delivering far greater value to my clients than they are. And that is why people are willing to pay me double, right? When one company can only get $25 or $30 per cleaning hour, and I can get 55 to 60 per cleaning hour, right? So the right action is to focus on value and differentiation, not obsessing over the cheap competitors because they're always going to be there. All right, number 5, how to be mediocre in 2024. Focus on the cost of marketing instead of the return on investment when you do marketing. In other words, fret over every penny you spend on marketing or not spending a dime on marketing because you haven't taken the time to assess, well, if I did spend some money on marketing and I attracted some new clients, what would that be worth? That's called focusing on the ROI. So many people won't spend money on marketing to grow their business. They think all of their new inbound business should come from referrals, should come free. Well, good luck growing a business without spending any time, energy, or money on marketing. So the right action is just monitor how many clients, a repeat client, does that marketing spend produce for you. Pay close attention. If you spent $1,000 on some kind of marketing and it works, and it produced 5 shiny new recurring clients, weekly or biweekly clients, well, 5 divided by 1,000, that's $200 a client, right? So it costs you $200 to find one shiny new client. You spent 1,000, you got 5. Well, $200, contrast that against how much will those shiny new clients spend in the course of a year? Well, statistics show if you're charging at least what you should be charging on the low end, they're going to spend $3,400 a piece. $3,400 a piece for 5 clients, right? That's some good money. That's what, $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 in new business for $1,000 marketing spend. So number 6, how to be mediocre in 2024. Number 6, tolerate chaos and avoid finding a proven system. Tolerate chaos and avoid finding a proven system. So many cleaning business owners, as they grow their business, it is just filled with chaos, drama, people quitting, people who don't follow training procedures, or trying to grow a business and hire and train people without training procedures, right? And you just have chaos after chaos and chaos and more chaos. And it usually means the owner works longer and longer hours for less and less money. So if you want to be mediocre in 2024, tolerate the chaos and don't waste your time looking for a proven system that takes away all that chaos. So of course, the right action here is establish proven structures and systems and put those in place before you try to grow your business. You can spend 10 years trial and error, research, practicing, try this, that doesn't work, try this, that doesn't work. Or you can invest in a system that's already worked out all those bugs and kinks. But if you want to stay mediocre, just tolerate all that chaos. Number 7, how to be mediocre in 2024. Number 7 is don't get customer feedback. Don't bother, right? You think everybody's happy, so you don't bother to get their feedback. You don't discover what really bothers them, what would cause them to cancel your service. You don't ask for feedback. You don't ask for online reviews of the happiest customers, right? That'll keep you mediocre. The right action is to actively collect and respond to customer feedback. In other words, send a text after every cleaning. Give them an opportunity to rate your service and tell you what went right or what went wrong. And then if everything went well and they're happy, 4.5, 5-star reviews, they're happy customers, give them a chance to go public with their feedback and post a Google review so that you can fill your Google reviews with hundreds of 5-star reviews, which helps combat that occasional 1-star review that you get. But if you want to be mediocre in 2024, then just don't bother to get customer feedback. Number 8, on how to be mediocre in 2024. This one's going to be painful for a lot of people. Keep C players around until they quit you. I remember those days. It was very painful, where you just had to tolerate bad employees, bad 1099 workers. You had to disregard all the red flags. You kept telling yourself, well, maybe they'll get better. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe they're having a bad week. Maybe they're having a bad month. Maybe they're having a bad life, right? So you disregard all the red flags. You ignore the chaos that they create. You make excuses for that. You don't pay close attention to all the customers you've lost because of the C players that you're tolerating, right? All the absences, them calling in sick when you have a big job or a move out clean, right? So just keep those C players around until they quit on you, because ultimately they will. Now, obviously, the right action here is invest in A players. That's the antidote. Invest in A players. Learn how to be the kind of job that A players want to work for. See, most of the time, cleaning business owners have inadvertently built the kind of job nobody's going to stay very long for. It's not that you did it on purpose, but that is exactly what you did. You built a job that A players love to quit. And so that right action is to learn how to be the kind of job that A players are attracted to and A players won't leave. Learn how to recognize those A players for their achievements, how to pay them what they're worth, and then how to develop them so that they see greater opportunities in working for you. All right, number 9. Number 9 on how to be mediocre in 2024. Don't hire at all, because after all, nobody wants to work, right? Don't hire at all, because after all, employees have let you down in the past, right? Just spend all your time doing the cleaning yourself. Basically, keeping a job instead of building an empire. That's how you stay mediocre. Obviously, the right action is learn the right way to delegate all of the cleaning work to your staff. Your well-curated, highly trained professional staff, and learn how to delegate all of the cleaning to them so that you can finally become a mop-free millionaire. A mop-free millionaire. And this isn't for other people. Becoming a mop-free millionaire is for anybody who wants it. But the only way that's going to happen is if you decide you'll do the scary thing of learning how to hire the right people, how to delegate all of the work to them, how to train them so that they do a good job and keep your good reputation. And then number 10 on how to be mediocre in 2024. Don't stop bad habits, right? Don't stop bad habits. Just make excuses for them, right? Continue with unproductive routines and habits that keep you from reaching your goals year after year after year. Just don't stop the bad habits. Now, of course, the right action is to identify a bad habit that you want to stop and replace it with a good habit. Don't just create a void. Replace it with a good habit. Here's like an example, just silly examples of some bad habits that can be replaced with good habits. So when waiting at a doctor's office or waiting at the nail salon for your appointment to come up, Instead of reading People magazine, which is a gossip magazine, bring a business book with you and read a business book. Instead of surfing Facebook during an appointment or after you put the kids to bed or after dinner, instead of just surfing Facebook and looking at kitty cat photos and, you know, seeing what everybody else's life is up to, read a good business book, right? That's replacing one bad habit with a good one. Instead of vegging out all weekend long on Netflix, veg out on Debbie Flicks. Oh, that's what our CBF members call it. Those are the training videos and the trainings that we offer to our CBF members, right? So instead of reading magazines or playing, solitaire on your phone or Candy Crush on your phone or whatever games you play that waste time, read a good book. Read Think and Grow Rich instead of watching Netflix, right? So replace a bad habit with a good habit. So obviously, I've said all of this tongue in cheek, right? How to be mediocre in 2024. I know that's not what you want, but that is what we usually end up with if we're not intentional about how to be exceptional in 2024, right? If you're not intentional about how to be exceptional, you'll accidentally be mediocre. Now, you probably won't be horrible. You won't be disastrous. You're not going to let that happen, but you'll accidentally be mediocre another year. You'll spend another year not reaching your goals. So these right actions that I shared with you, in contrast to all the other things that we do to keep us mediocre, these right actions will help you move away more and more from being mediocre and towards living successfully and building and growing a successful, thriving business in 2024. So be intentional about your business, about your habits, about the way you look at your business, and make 2024 your best year ever. So I hope that was helpful, guys, and we will see you in the new year. So did you know, so today is New Year's Eve. You guys are probably so far ahead of me, you already know this, but I figured it out yesterday. But today is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Isn't that funny? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So today is 12, 31, 23. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's pretty great, right? Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's Eve. My husband and I are going to go out to a really nice dinner tonight. Got my makeup all fancied up. I'm ready to change into some sparkly clothes. And we're going to have a wonderful evening celebrating the new year, or ringing in the new year at a great restaurant down in Galveston. Then we'll come back here for a few more days. I love working at the beach. I'm not off. I'm working. As you can see, I'm working today. And I've been building talks for CBF Live. So let me just tell you guys a little bit about CBF Live. It is coming up before you know it. I mean, tomorrow is January 1, 2024. It's like we blinked and we're in the new year. So CBF Live for residential cleaning business owners is going to be here before you know it. And so you need to get registered now before we run out of room blocks, because every year we sell out of the rooms, the hotel blocks at our host hotel, and people have to go find, lodging across the street or down the street or whatever. So go to cbflive.com. Make sure you get registered now before the price changes. It's probably going to change January 1st. So you've got a few more hours before the price changes. I'm not sure when the next threshold goes up. Thank you for posting cbflive.com. I appreciate it. So go get registered now. And then for those of you that are really intentional about making your business exceptional this year instead of allowing it to default to mediocre, we've got a couple of things you need to keep your eyes on. You'll see some promotions probably early next week. One of our CBF certified CBF coaches, Kathy Merchant, will be hosting a half-a-day boot camp and follow-up accountability structures for setting and reaching goals. So how many tens of thousands, for some of you, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars will you make more in 2024 if you reach your goals? So Kathy Merchant, one of our certified CBF coaches, will be launching a goal setting boot camp, how to set and reach goals. Now, a lot of us have set goals year after year and then never reach them. So, it's time that you learn how to set goals and get the results that you wanted, reach those goals. So watch for the promotion to do this incredible boot camp, training boot camp. There is a cost. It's not cheap, but it's worth it. I wish I had this back when I was in the early days of my business. And then later in the month, you'll also be hearing from one of our other certified CBF coaches, Coach Eric Ims. And this will be a very low cost event, so everybody can participate in this one. He'll be just launching a budgeting webinar, how to budget for the entire year, how to budget your cleaning business for the entire year. So many people overspend and have nothing to show for it. They don't know where all their money is going. They don't know how to manage the money. It goes in, it goes out. It goes in, it goes out. They don't know how much money they should be spending on marketing and on overhead. And they really have never created a budget. So watch for that coming up. All of this is happening in January. This is how you create new habits in 2024 instead of settling for old habits where you never had a budget, you never set goals, or you set goals and you didn't reach them, right? This is how we replace old bad habits with new good habits that move you forward. So imagine if you take Kathy Merchant's goal setting training and she helps hold you accountable all year long to your goals. How many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars will that be worth to you in 2024? In 2024. And for those of you that have lost money in 2023 because you don't even know what a budget looks like, you don't know how to put your business on a budget, you don't know how to analyze the numbers and where the money is going, imagine if for a few bucks you solve that problem once and for all. And for 2024, by working with Coach Eric Ems, you finally had a budget where you could hold yourself and your staff accountable. And you know exactly where the money is going and you control where that money is leaving from in your business. All righty. So, yep, there's Kathy. She's in here. Happy New Year, Kathy. Can't wait to be a part of that boot camp. That's going to be amazing. You guys will see the link soon. And thank you. Somebody said the porch is beautiful. I appreciate it. Look at the view. Isn't that fabulous? Like we literally go downstairs and step right on the beach. It's just my favorite place to be. Yep, somebody said, Kathy, somebody said, I am ready for Kathy Merchant. It's going to be phenomenal. And then lastly, if you have not registered for CBF Live, please do not get locked out. This will be the most powerful 3-day event anybody who owns a residential cleaning business can attend. I'm going to spend 3 days sharing all kinds of insider secrets that, I hope my competitor doesn't learn, right? But I'm going to be sharing for 3 full days, insider secrets on how to grow and manage a residential cleaning business. You can't get information like this anywhere that is consolidated into industry specific, residential business growth strategies specific. There's no single book where you can get this kind of insider knowledge from somebody who's been there, from somebody who's built this year we hit $3.2 million in revenue, where the owner, myself, has built a self-running business with a self-managing team, right? And so come and learn. Come to CBF Live. It's in Dallas. You can fly there from almost any part of the country relatively cheap. Get your tickets early so it's cheap. The hotel is absolutely gorgeous. We secured a fantastic rate. It is a beautiful resort right there in Irving, Texas, which is about 15 minutes. It's outside of Dallas. It's about 15 minutes from Dallas-Fort Worth Airport and about 25 minutes from Love Field Airport. So it's easy to fly into, easy to fly home. 3 full days, cbflive.com. Get it while you can. All right. Anybody doing anything fun for New Year's Eve? Going to a party? going out to dinner, playing games with family? What are you doing for New Year's Eve? Type into the comments and let me know. I'd love to know what you're doing for New Year's Eve. Somebody else said, I am looking forward to Coach Eric M's fantastic deal as well. Yep. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. I can see Sarah Francis is in here. All right, somebody's doing dinner. Fantastic. What are y'all doing for fun for New Year's Eve? You know what I did when I was a little kid? I would try my best to stay up till midnight, and then I would go outside and we'd beat pots and pans. That was like the coolest thing on the planet. And I remember when I was little trying desperately to stay up till midnight so I could go beat pots and pans outside, and I never would make it. I'd wake up the next morning all bummed that I fell asleep. My parents put me to bed. I'm sure I probably fell asleep by 9 p.m. Oh, somebody said they're staying home. Well, that's probably the safest bet. It's always safest bet to stay home on New Year's Eve. But then tomorrow, so New Year's Day, so we're going to go out and celebrate tonight, have a really nice romantic dinner, just Steve and I. But then tomorrow, I'm going to do my annual Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I'm going to totally veg out. I'm going to ignore all of the advice that I gave about, just vegging out on the weekend, but you can do that on a holiday, right? But I'm going to veg out all day long on all 3 of the Lord of the Rings. So I can't wait. That's like one of my favorite series. Who is a Lord of the Rings fan? I never did get into Harry Potter. I just never could get into it. My grandkids love it and my adult children love it, but I don't know. I never got into Harry Potter. But Lord of the Rings, oh man, I'm all in, especially the second one out of the trilogy. The second one's my favorite. It's so good. Gollum. Who's a Lord of the Rings fan? Anybody left? You haven't watched it. Oh, well, watch it with me tomorrow, right? So I'll probably start Lord of the Rings around 9 or 10 a.m. I'll do the first year and then the second one and then the third one. So I'm sure you can get it from Netflix or Hulu or somebody. So yeah, it would be a good day to watch all 3 of them. They're really good. All right, guys. So I need to get ready pretty soon to go have dinner with my honey. But I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe New Year's Eve. And I hope you have a very restful New Year's Day. And I hope you will remember these tongue-in-cheek concepts that I share with you today. In fact, I kept stumbling because it's really hard for me to speak in the negative, right? So how to be mediocre in 2024 is actually hard for me to say. I'm usually talking in the most positive way possible, right? And I'm usually talking about how to be exceptional in 2024, but I thought I would do a little tongue in cheek because so many people live year after year in mediocrity with their business. They tolerate just making excuses and blaming others. They tolerate trying to multiply before they've maximized anything, right? They continually ask for advice from people who don't even have the answers, and then they don't follow advice, right? They obsess over their cheap competitors. They focus on the cost of marketing instead of all the return on effective marketing. They tolerate chaos and they avoid finding that proven structure that will finally get rid of the chaos and help them grow exponentially. And then they don't ask for customer feedback because quite honestly, they don't want to hear it, especially if they have some employees that shouldn't be on their team and they really hate to hear what the customers have to say. And then they keep C players around till they quit on them. I did it back in the day when my business was a broken mess. I kept my C players until they quit. And then they just don't hire employees at all because they're tired of all the drama and they just do all the cleaning themselves as owners and settle for having a job instead of a company, instead of a business. And then lastly, they don't stop the bad habits. They just keep, they just continue with bad habits year after year after year instead of replacing them with good habits that will help them move forward. So I hope that was helpful. How to be mediocre in 2024. I hope you guys have a wonderful new year and let's crush it in 2024 together. And I can't wait to see you at cbflive.com. Go get registered. Take care, everybody. Happy New Year.